joined by Bryce Drew and also a special guest. I'm going to let you introduce him. But first of all, Bryce, I mean, we talked about at the post-game show last night that you took your jacket off early in the second half. It was kind of a good luck charm. You didn't wait that long. You took it off after about 3 minutes in the first half tonight.
Well, we talked about that nobody's ever won back-to-back road games in the WAC, and so we had a big goal coming in, and we didn't get off to a great start. But thankfully our team really picked up the intensity, and what a great last 8-minute stretch. Same thing as last night. We saved our best effort for those last 8 to 10 minutes.
When we talked in the pregame show, we kind of said, you know, this is uncharted waters for you. You got back-to-back. What do you do in the second game as opposed to the first? And you said, you know, I'm not really sure. I'm going to kind of see how it plays out. But when it came down to the end, it was not just the defensive stops. You got a lot of bench help down the stretch as well.
You know, we talked yesterday also about bench productivity and about depth, especially on these back-to-back games. And you know, their guys, you look at some of their guys played nearly 80 minutes in 2 games. And, you know, we were able to go to our bench, able to really balance some minutes with Ali, Ash, and Gabe, and also with the guard position. You know, I think Chance, Jaden, Mike, you were able to split some minutes and help Javon stay in those low 30s, which I thought was really big those last 8 minutes of the game.
Why don't you introduce your special guest, because you weren't sure whether or not you were going to be smiling with him at the end of the game.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his hair, and he like has no gray hair. And I guess when you're number 2 in the country and you're undefeated and you don't get that many close games, that's what happens. Because I got a bunch of grays, especially after this weekend. But I had to bring him on. So my brother Scott Drew, and again, they're number 2 in the country. I think they're number 1, but the pollsters got him number 2 right now. But he drove over from his game from TCU after a win today to be with our guys and celebrate in the locker room.
And Scott, you were originally supposed to have Tarleton on the schedule. That didn't happen, but you get a full taste of Tarleton and GCU. What were your thoughts about the game?
Well, the first thing I had to do was call Tarleton and make sure they were okay with us coming here because we might still have them on the schedule. Who knows how COVID works? But they got really nice people here, and Lon runs a first-class program, and Billy's a heck of a coach. We know about them all from the Big 12. But I'm so proud as a big brother. I mean, it is really, really hard to win back-to-back games on the road. We talk all the time as a staff watching other conferences that are doing this, and you might even have one team win by 30 or 40, and then the next day they lose, and it is really hard to do. So for them to come in and you have to earn a victory on the road, and especially against a really well-coached team. And Bryce and his staff, as a big brother, I thought they really made some great coaching moves. That zone really did a great job in slowing them down from getting to the free throw line. One and done, got us some transition, but I think that was a great coaching move. And then the other thing is our brother and his staff, a bunch of really good, high-character Christian men that are really forming a great program here, something that all the GCU alumni and faithful can be really proud of because they're winners on and off the court.
When you have those scratch and claw games at Baylor, you're on the sidelines, so you have to be in the middle of it. Is it harder sitting elsewhere and saying, gosh, I hope Bryce pulls this out?
No question. It's a lot tougher, and in fact, like watching the game last night and coming down to the end, I mean, they wear you out. That's emotional. So you try not to, like I days of the game, I'm sure he doesn't watch many of my games either because you're too emotionally invested and you got to save it for your guys. So anyway, I was really pleased that they made it, got a little separation at the end. 8 to 10 point wins are really good. I've been blessed. Our team, we haven't had a double-digit game yet. Or a single-digit game yet. Everything's been double-digit. So I can tell Bryce one thing. I still am losing here. He's keeping his. So, Gray, you can die. You know, mine is gone from all those close games. But, again, couldn't be more proud of what they're doing. And from afar looking in and just seeing GCU with the leadership at the university, athletic director level, the fan support, really a first-class program and so many great things that they provide our country. And I see nothing but great things on the horizon as they continue to be more and more prominent and continue to develop. And I couldn't be more proud of my brother with the job that he has and the people he associates with.
Bryce, as Paul said a couple of minutes ago, this one was a great win and everybody's smiling, but it didn't necessarily feel good. It didn't have that, it didn't have the same kind of flow last night, but you get a win that you were able to make the stops and stay in your flow last night, and you're not in your flow tonight, but you're still able to get the win, and you get them early in the WAC season. How do you use those towards the rest of the conference schedule?
Coming on the road, and we talked about the layoff we've had, all 4 of our coaches have been out the last 3 weeks with COVID. We've actually had a 1-hour practice with the 4 of us since before Christmas. As a head coach, I had 3 hours with our guys before this trip in the last 16 days. And so credit, our whole staff, credit, our players for taking some responsibility on themselves to stay in shape, to stay ready, for these games. Did we play our best? I think we can play much better, but Tarleton's a really tough team to play against. And you watch film, and again, they were up 10 at Texas A&M with under 8 minutes left in that game, and their defense is really difficult to play against. So credit our guys for finding ways to score, finding ways to be able to win both of these games, which is a really tough place to win.
And you went on a 13-0 run at the perfect time and able to come away and hold them basically down to one meaningless field goal over the last nearly 4 minutes of the ball game. What a difference that made, 59-48. Bryce Drew, Scott Drew, thank you so much for coming and joining us on the postgame show. Good luck with Baylor the rest of the way. Obviously, with number 2 in the nation, you got a bullseye on your back, and we know that. And, of course, Bryce now 2-0 on top of the WAC, so the bullseye is already created. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Bryce and Scott Drew as part of our Lopes postgame.